Hi everyone, my name is Oliver and I thought I'd come on here today and give you guys an honest opinion of the Sonos Move after 5 months of me owning it. When I went to buy my Sonos Move, I realised there was a lot of different forums online which tell you different opinions, different reviews, and I wish I had somebody at the time where I could probably chat to them and for them to tell me, after using this for a month, would you recommend it? I feel like a lot of people who review stuff online today take stuff out of the box and within 15 minutes they feel like they've reviewed the product. And at the end of the day, is that a fair justification? I don't think so. I think it's always healthy. I think it's always good to live with something for a few months to actually give a fair opinion on it. So here we are. So let's start with the weight of the Sonos Move. This is by all definitely the heaviest speaker I've owned. I would say to you, if you plan to take it around with you, whether it's in school, university, to your friend's house, if you plan on carrying this in a backpack for a long time, this speaker would be too heavy for that. If you plan on taking it around in a car to different events, it's perfect. It is a very heavy speaker, so just be aware of that. If you were to go traveling, I wouldn't recommend putting this in a travel bag or a backpack. Whereas if you had a very heavy suitcase and you were going away for 2 weeks, and you realise you'd just be carrying it through the airport, definitely justifiable for its sound and it's just of its being a Bluetooth speaker at the end of the day. So in terms of should you buy this in relation to having a Sonos system or not having a Sonos system, so bit of background about my system. I currently have a Beam and 2 Sonos Ones connected in this room. Then in my kitchen, I have 1 Sonos One. So what I really love about this is when I get up in the morning, I can just pick this up. If I go into my shower room, I can just be throwing out beats while I get ready for work. When I go into the kitchen, I can just again bring it into the kitchen, be playing music. And depending on which room I go into, whether this is my den or my kitchen, when I'm in this room, if I am playing stuff through my Beam and my 2 Sonos Ones, I can automatically just connect this into this room just by holding down the play button, which is really great because it just means I can add another speaker to another area of the room, which kind of fills the volume of the room, fills it really well with bass, but also just good sound quality and loudness. It's the kind of perfect thing you want for a party. If you just kind of want to ensure that your whole house has a good level of bass. One thing I also would really recommend about this is if you feel in your house you want to set up a Sonos system and you want to fill 4 or 5 rooms with speakers, remember to justify that you may not spend all the time in each of those rooms every day. So why not maybe have a room where you have your TV and you have a Beam, let's say, then like me, you have 2 Sonos Ones. But let's say in your kitchen, you have a dining room and a living room, and you realise that, you know, one night a week you're going to have friends around, you're all going to be in the living room. Instead of actually going and buying a Sonos One for every room, I think this is a very good purchase solely for the fact of you can actually just bring this into any room you want. Obviously with the Sonos Ones, if you own one of them, you realise that I could just take one of them out of here, bring it up to the bedroom, plug it in, takes 5 minutes to connect back to the Wi-Fi, then I can play. But having this here, it's just flawless in the fact that if I have a Sonos One in my kitchen, I can just bring this back in here, into the kitchen, sorry, and literally by pressing the replay button, that'll just connect with my kitchen speaker, and then I have 2 great speakers just playing right at me. So in terms of the sound quality of this, when I was online looking into this, obviously everyone's big question is being like, maybe you have Sonos Ones, so you're like, is this actually going to be justifiable for the price and the sound quality? What I would say to people is, my opinion is that if I compare this to a Sonos One, I think you're getting about 1 Sonos One and then add another half of a Sonos One onto that. So let's say 1.5 Sonos Ones is in this. That's the sound quality I think you're getting from it. There's a great bit of bass, great bit of sound. When, let's say I'm using a Sonos One on its own and I have it up to volume 9, I've always kind of realised that there's a bit of distortion between the bass and the actual like acoustics of the song being hit out right from the speaker because it's trying to play so loudly. Whereas I have not had this issue at all with the Beam or the Move. When I have that being played up at volume 9, there's no distortion, and it just plays out very well and crisp. Even when I've had this in a hall playing like a badminton, I have found that it really stands its ground. and fills the room very well. If you're watching this video and you are wondering, should I buy this if I don't actually have a Sonos system and I maybe want to start a Sonos system, I think this is a good question, because this is obviously, I'm sure you've seen the price tag of this speaker. It is very dear for a standalone speaker. And if you're someone who doesn't own a Sonos system, go online to Amazon right now and buy, a JBL or something, because the reason I can justify this is the fact that it's an amazing Bluetooth speaker, but the minute I come back into my house, it's linked up to my system, and then it just amplifies my system to a greater level within the house. So if you're a Sonos user, definitely I recommend this, as it's a good 2-in-1 connected to your home speakers. Leave the house, you have a great Bluetooth speaker. Whereas if you're coming on here and you don't own a Sonos system, I would not recommend this, solely because although the sound's amazing, I realised myself that I could go on Amazon and buy a JBL, maybe a £200 JBL, which could maybe beat this in sound, probably would. But obviously, you realise your JBL, you're just going to be connecting that with Bluetooth. Thing I love, and I've recommended to a lot of friends for this who have asked me about it, I would say it's great for the fact that if you go and buy this Sonos speaker in the future, if you go and buy, say, a Sonos Beam, a soundbar for your TV, it's great for the fact that in the future then when you have a party, you could have this in your living room and you put this in your kitchen and you've just connected 2 speakers up, and all of a sudden you've got a really good sound system in your house. So yeah, that would be my recommendation. If you're not a Sonos user, I wouldn't go anywhere near this. However, if you are, definitely go for it if you have the money. If you have any questions regarding my comments here or my opinions, please do comment below, because I would love to help you out. When I was going through a few months of contemplating getting this, obviously you see a lot of stuff online of reviews, and essentially you would love somebody to be there who's owned it for about 2 or 3 months and could tell you every in and out of it. So I mostly spoke about the good stuff. Talking about the bad things, a few things that I would note is when I have taken this out of my house, essentially we can see the wee white lights on right now. By me just clicking the Bluetooth button, it's literally turned straight to blue, and that should allow me to go and connect a Bluetooth speaker. There it is, trying to find something, but we'll turn it back. So when I have left the house sometimes, I went to play badminton or been in a hotel with my friends, they're always like, it's not the simplest thing. I hardly explain in the way that, like, if I tried it right now, I'd probably work fine. But there's some scenarios where you leave your house, I don't even know how to explain it, if there's a bit of confusion with it disconnecting from the Wi-Fi or going on Bluetooth, and even like trying to pick up a new device. I think in recent times, not that it hasn't worked, but it has taken me like a few minutes of patience to just sit with it, turn it on and off, turn my phone's Bluetooth on and off to actually kind of get the connection. So not that it doesn't work, it does work, and when it does work, it's brilliant and it sounds great. But I have had a wee bit of frustration, maybe of like 2 or 3 minutes of sitting patiently and just waiting for it to connect. So that's one thing I would say, which I kind of I would have against the Sonos Move, and I think and I hope with the new Sonos updates that the Sonos company really take it seriously to make this very efficient in what it's made for, between being a Sonos speaker but also a Bluetooth speaker. And yeah, I think just the other thing as well, like I said at the start, like it's a very heavy speaker, but I know myself now, if I'm going to a trip away with friends and we have a car, I'm like, it's seamless to bring, it's perfect, put in the boot. Whereas I'm not gonna go to London tomorrow with a backpack and put this in my backpack, because it is very heavy. But it's definitely justifiable for if you sound like you're in my scenarios with having a car, being able to drive and bring it with you. But I really think that is all I want to cover. If there's any areas of a review you would like to hear from me, please do comment below and I will reply within probably a few hours. I'd be more than happy to talk anybody through any kind of different thoughts or any different areas you think you would like to know more about the Sonos Move, and I'd be glad to help. But yes, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me and let me talk and rant about this speaker. I really hope it's helped. And again, any questions, please let me know below. Thank you very much.